So here's a short story which is a perfect example of the times and most certainly what is yet to come, about a young gal who is now in hot water with her boyfriend, or shall I say ex-boyfriend, after he dumped her because of content she posted online many, many years ago. And of course, she's having a full-blown meltdown about this whole thing because she's so heartbroken and hurt and blah, blah, blah. And those pictures were in the past. They're not her. This is what's going to happen. So to all those young people out there that are posting pictures and videos and really spicy ones, once it's up there online, whether it be Reddit or TikTok or Instagram or any of those places out there, it's forever. And if you have control to get rid of it, you better darn well do it. Otherwise, it's going to come back to haunt you. And nobody's going to feel bad for you. Titled, "My boyfriend broke up with me over photos I posted in the past." And a shout out to Larry for sending in this story. Now listen to this, guys, and especially you fathers out there that have teenage daughters. It says here, "I thought my boyfriend and I were endgame, and now I might have messed it up for good. Back in 2016, I made a private Instagram where I would post spam posts. I would just post any and every thought I had and any photo I wanted to, completely unfiltered." Keyword unfiltered. "Only about 45 people ever followed that account, mainly very close friends." Okay, well, she's 26 now, so 2016, so she was like 16 years old, high school, doing it back then. Without a care in the world. Well, in time, I fell into severe drug addiction around 2019, 2021, and eventually began doing SCX work to fund my habits. There we go. So when she's 19 through 21, heavily into the drugs. "It's not a version of myself or my past that I like. During this period, for whatever reason, I sometimes posted lewd photos of myself on this private account. Nothing extreme or showing anything, but me in little shirts and underwear and stuff like that. At the time, I thought the posts were tame." Notice how she says she fell into the drugs? You don't fall into the drugs or the addictions and all that. She made a conscious choice to take the drug the first time, and probably felt fun, took it a second time, and next thing you know, and then there you go. "Well, I lost access to the account in 2021 and recovered it about a year ago and have not posted on it since." How do you lose the account and then get it back? "I've gone on the account collectively maybe 5 times since then. A few days ago, my boyfriend saw that I was logged into the account and had not yet accepted his follow request. If I'm being fully honest here, I intentionally did not accept the request yet because I was humiliated that I used to post things like that. It was a dark time in my life, and I was portraying myself so wildly differently from how I carry myself today." Well, it sounds like she's gotten her life together. Off the drugs, not behaving like that, and that's great. But still, she was an addict, and she was selling herself to fund her lifestyle. Not exactly girlfriend material. I'm glad she's gotten past that. But why does she have this account? If it has all these pictures on it, why isn't she deleting them? And she's not letting her boyfriend on it? Well, watch this. "Even though my boyfriend is aware of my past with drugs and SEX work," smack, can't believe he's with her, "I struggle with a lot of shame around that time in my life. The thought of the man I love seeing proof of that version of me was hard for me to sit with." Then why don't you log into your Instagram and delete all those pictures? Or delete the whole account? Almost like she's setting herself up to be dumped. And then we'll go back to guys that treated her like a piece of garbage back then. People can be self-sabotaging. "Well, I plan on taking the time to go through and delete any posts that would be uncomfortable for him to see before accepting his follow request. I had started combing through the account and forgotten that I never fully finished." No, I have a hard time. Unless she has like 2,000 pictures there. Come on here. Anyway, long story short, my boyfriend saw some of the lewd photos left up and then realized that a few men followed the account, including one of my male friends who has expressed feelings for me in the past, which were shut down by me. Hold on. She won't allow her boyfriend into this account to accept his request, but a guy that expressed interest in her and other guys are allowed to see it? Yeah, this wouldn't sit well with me as a boyfriend, not that I'd be her boyfriend here. "Well, very understandably, my boyfriend was livid and heartbroken over this and broke up with me for it instantly." You're lucky he gave you a shot knowing your past of being an addict and also doing SCX work to fund that lifestyle. That was Australia broke the camel's back. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be shocked and really hurt over this too if roles were reversed, and I told him that he was 100% valid in his feelings. I completely forgot that this male friend ever even followed this account. Unfortunately, during that period of my life, I was so strung out 24/7 that I didn't care much about it at all and wouldn't have thought to comb through my following before posting things like that. I convinced myself that the SCX work was empowering, so I didn't feel weird about posting promiscuously. Now my feelings on the topic have changed completely, and I feel really weirded out that I used to be so open, SCXUAL. Well, I'm hoping that really she's being honest here, that she looks back and is disgusted by her actions back then, and it goes to show you, these young people that think they know everything and feel so empowered by doing such things, guess what? You look back and be like, oh my God, I was a freaking moron. This stuff isn't going to go away. My boyfriend convinced himself that I left the photos up intentionally and left men on that account so I can dangle carrots and string these men along so I can keep that on my back burner. I don't blame him. I would see it that way too. In fact, I still do. I think in a way she's sabotaging her. In some way, I could see where, like, psychologically she's thinking, this guy's too good for me. He knows about my past. He's going to get rid of me some way. And I'd rather facilitate that through me making that choice than him doing it randomly. So I'm going to keep this account up and keep those other guys there. You get what I'm saying here? Some people will self-sabotage and goes right back to the lifestyle she was. He thinks I have led my male friend on intentionally. I see how it looks from that perspective, but this could not be further from the truth. I have zero interest in anyone other than him and wanted to marry him. But this warped his trust in me, and now I can't get him to see that. All he had to do was delete the account. He knew you were a hooker and were an addict, and he was with you, and that's crazy, but he did. All he had to do was delete the freaking pictures of the account, and certainly not have that guy on there. But nope, couldn't do that. I love and respect this man more than anybody else I ever did before, but I effed it up and went about handling things in such a clumsy way. Yeah, well, I'm kind of thinking she sabotaged herself. I kept procrastinating going through this account because I knew that seeing certain videos and photos of me doing drugs will be triggering for me. I'm several years sober, but I still have a hard time looking back at the account and that time in my life. Okay, understandable, but you have to face the music and deal with it. Log in there, have a bad day, see the pictures, see the videos, delete them, and that's it. Rip the Band-Aid off, honey. Since the account has been inactive for almost 5 years, in my mind, the risk of anyone looking back at the account was very low. So I kept putting it off. I tried explaining this to my boyfriend and gave him very raw and real apology, but he says it doesn't matter what I say and that he's done. Well, you know, there's a saying, how do you know when a junkie or a druggie is lying? Their lips are moving. Is there anything I can do to rectify this and try to get him back? I instantly deleted the photos and he addressed it with me. I care about this man so much and want him back more than anything, but I also don't want to push too hard and make him think I don't respect his decision. I think you're in trouble, honey. He gave you chances that most men wouldn't, and frankly, I wouldn't advise that. What you want to do? You want to go in there and log into this traumatizing account and delete all the pictures and videos and shut down the account entirely. Save the pictures you want of you with pictures of with the cat or the dog, but the rest of the pictures get rid of. But the problem is, they're up there forever, one way or another. And this is probably the straw that broke the camel's back. And if he comes back, he gives you another chance, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And move on. And then the next boyfriend you have, you are honest about your past, as you should be. Sounds like she was, so that's good. And anything else. And you lay all the cards on the table. And that way then, that boyfriend can decide this. But the more skeletons a gal like this has in her closet, the more of a problem it's going to be. But I still got to wonder, this is self-sabotage. Fear that this guy's eventually going to get rid of me, so leaving something out there that could screw it up, and at least, you know, she has some power of that. And a lot of times things like this, they go right back to the type of people they were involved with in the past, the lifestyle, all that. I could be wrong, but that's just a theory here. But anyhow, the point is, be careful. What you put out there is forever. End of story. And this is what's going to happen. You know, in 2020, when COVID happened and people were at home, and a lot of these gals, that's what made OnlyFans really popular. All these gals are at home taking pictures of themselves and doing that content. All the gals that did that, either the extreme case of OnlyFans or questionable material put up elsewhere, it's going to come back to haunt them one day. It already is. And this is a perfect example. And, you get a lot of shaming things out there where people post about this and the guys get shamed because they should just not care about that and accept it. Bull crap. Guys, if you don't want your girlfriend or wife or future wife to be like this, and you find out that she's done all these things, regardless of the shaming tactics that they will try, you don't have to accept that. The thing is, good luck trying to find gals that are now in their 20s or maybe approaching 30 now that weren't, doing all that. But you have the choice to walk away and not accept that. But beware, the shaming will be coming. But any young ladies that are watching this, or any fathers of teenagers, make sure that your kids are aware of this whole thing. And the young ladies out there, be careful. It ain't going to be pretty if you face the temptation for some quick attention and dopamine effect, post yourself up there doing things, and it's going to come back to haunt you. But anyhow, there you go.